What a surprise to see you here. Do you come here often? Hi there and welcome to another box opening and review video with me, Jenny Kirk, and going through some of the goodies that I've been buying recently. Now this particular one is a model that Hornby brought out quite a few years ago now, but they have kept occasionally releasing new liveries for it. And as freight rolling stock goes, this particular type of brake van is very, very good because it was long lasting and received so many different colourful liveries. This particular version of it is it's the Shark brake van, and this particular version is in the very striking Mainline blue livery, which dates back to probably the early to mid 1990s. So it's the shadow privatisation era, as it's referred to, before full privatisation. The wagons themselves actually made it into EWS livery, well some of them did, but this is the livery that some of them would have carried before that. Some also had a Dutch livery. I've seen Loadhaul as well, and also they go right back to pretty much the steam era, and Hornby have produced them in the engineer's black livery too. Now versions that I've got, I've also got the engineer's olive livery because I'm a particular sucker for that, but with a colourful livery like this and at the very keen price that Hornby are currently offering it, it really was too good a deal to miss. So we've got there the catalogue number R6711, and it says on the end there Mainline brake van Shark, and then it gives the running number DB993748. So we're going to open this up, and this is what's become the fairly standard Hornby rolling stock box. Same dimensions as the Bachmann boxes, but obviously the characteristic red and yellow. Now what's interesting is we do get the option to fit the Shark ploughs in the raised or lowered positions. Now the wagon comes with them in the raised position, and really for most intents and purposes that's the best place to leave them. But you can fit these, and one of the other things about these spare ploughs is that you don't have holes in these for the NEM pockets for the couplings. So you could, for example, fit 3-link chain couplings and have a much more prototypical look to the wagon. I never choose to fit these. I mean, hey, I've got to run these things. But we're going to move all this out. You do get a little instruction leaflet which just shows you how to fit the extra parts, and that's something which is often lacking with a lot of releases these days. So it's nice to see that they actually give you a little helping hand as to where all this stuff goes. I'm going to slide that to one side, and what we see here is a very vibrant blue, and I do like this. We've also got we've got the vacuum pipes fitted on there, and they're separately painted, so we get a very crisp demarcation between the different colours. And what I do like about this is just the striking differential between the printing, the lining and the blue itself. We've got the Mainline logos applied on the duckets. One thing which I would say does detract from this, it looks like they're applied as transfers. There's like a little square box around it. Now it could be that the full-size originals were applied in that way, so what we're actually seeing is a faithful reproduction in model form of what the real ones look like, but I'm not entirely sure about that. On the underside we have this wealth of detail, and it's already applied, unlike some of the other wagons, including, I think we recently did the Bachmann CCT, where a lot of these items, these brake stretchers, were in the box but for the end user to fit. Not on this. Everything comes ready fitted for it to just go on the track and run. We've got all the very, very detailed and delicate brake gear. We've even got some of the coupling linkages in there as well, which, to be honest, unless you turn it upside down, you're never going to see. And in some respects, it's detail for detail's sake. I think in part, back in the days when labour was very, very cheap in China and they could churn these out at a very, very cheap price with all this detail, there became almost this race to make things as super detailed as possible. Unfortunately, they're now lumbered with a model which perhaps in some respects is much more expensive to assemble and get to the shops as a result of this. But this is one of the finest models that Hornby brought out in the last 10 years or so, and it has to be said that this was a kind of a grand hurrah of Hornby saying, look, we may have made some duff models, we may have been overtaken by Bachmann, but look, we still can make models to an exceptionally high standard. And it was lovely when these first appeared to see that Hornby really could make the effort, and it sort of marked the beginning of the great comeback of the Hornby models to really take the fight to the likes of Bachmann and Dapol and Helgen and make models that could compete there. I'd say that there is a real heft with this, a good weight to it. They do run very, very well despite their short wheelbase. We've got some lovely smooth wheels on there. Again, not sprung buffers, but I'm not a fan of sprung buffers. We've got a lovely representation of the little ship's wheel, which on the real things raises and lowers the shark ploughs in there, and a lovely clean application of the white insides. There's even, if we look very carefully inside, a representation, it seems, of the brake wheel that would have been in that cabin for the handbrake on the vehicle. And again, it's detail which, in all honesty, is probably, you know, there for the sake of it rather than because it adds greatly to the model. Overall, I'd say this is one of my favourite recent Hornby models that's been done to the very high standard, and I'd actually give this a good 9 out of 10. So I hope this video has been informative to you, and another great model from the Jenny Emily collection. And don't forget to like this video, share it too, and we'll be back next time with some more great stuff being reviewed. Until then, you take care of yourself, and this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying bye for now.
My name is Deza. I plough the space lanes, picking up debris and salvaging derelicts. It's a dangerous job, but the pay is good. At least I used to think so, before my ship came across our last derelict. We thought it was the payday of a lifetime. We were wrong. Nobody should have to go through what I did on that derelict. I barely made it out. Now they want me to go back.